Hello. Hey, what's going on, guys? Got DLR here, and we are here. It is time. Tiny Tourney. It is finally started, and yes, we are here for the first episode of our Tiny Tourney adventure, I guess. Yep, same team that I used in the prologue on Showdown. Porygon 2, Marowak, Wishy-Washy, Krokorok, Rabombi, and Kartana. So a Trick Room hybrid team with that Scarf Krokorok, which is kind of neat tech. Nice because it has the Intimidate, which is just always nice to have on your team. As well as Knockoff, which can knock off Porygon 2's Eviolite, which can be a problem for a team like this. Either way, yeah. Not very standard, but then again, what is in the Tiny Tourney? I don't know. I have not done any battles in the Tiny Tourney yet, as you're about to see. But let's hope that this team can do well in this tournament. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. Yes. Communicating, please wait a moment. Hopefully that moment doesn't take too long. Your battle team is locked and game sync is complete. Nice. Let's get started. Tiny Tourney time, boys. And for our first opponent of the Tiny Tourney, we find someone from Japan with a 15-14 rating. Pretty close to mine because, I haven't gotten any battles. Of course, I'm just at the 1500s. Rocking the Umbreon, Mimikyu, Jolteon, Tokenomaru, Torkoal, and the Gastrodon. So it looks like a Trick Room team. Oh shoot. Oh no. Was that my internet? Shoot, man. Well, we get a loss for our first battle because of course my internet decides to crash. Let's try this again. Dang. Oh, that really sucks. Oh, no. Shoot, man. Alright, so this is going to take a moment to get right back into the battle spot. But yeah, we're going to be starting off a little bit crippled on the ladder because, alas, my internet can't hold up. If my internet goes out again, I'm just going to restart the live and fix my router because, honestly, my internet is just terrible. My internet's always going out. Especially of recent. I might have to get new internet because my internet has been fluking way too often. Okay, real first opponent of the day. How about another opponent from Japan rocking the Glaceon, Sylveon, Mesprit, Mach, Porygon Z, and Alolan Marowak. So Krokorok's actually pretty decent here as it knocks off the Mesprit and the Marowak as well as Earthquakes the Mach, and just outspeeds everything bar possible Scarfer. So I think I will lead Krokorok and then Rabombi because what Rabombi does is it can speed swap. So if I can speed swap onto Marowak, I'm in just a really good position. And if we do see my opponent bring like the Trick Room mode, because I assume that's like a Trick Room mode with maybe Trick Room on Mesprit and Porygon Z, I will also bring my Wishy-Washy in the back. So we're going to bring that Trick Room mode in the back without Trick Room, and that's just to simply counter my opponent's Trick Room mode, or not counter, but do well against it, if that's what my opponent decides to bring. And yeah, if my opponent decides not to bring the Trick Room mode, we can always just use Speed Swap. A strategy you don't really see too often, but I don't know. I really like it, especially in this format, because most people don't see it coming. I mean, most people don't see it coming in VGC either, but it's just a gimmick. But it's a gimmick that I am happy to make use of. So we lead Krokorok and Rabombi. My opponent leads Glaceon and Porygon Z. Honestly, I'm just going to hard switch into Marowak and Speed Swap. Because neither of my opponent's Pokemon really threaten me, unless that's Z conversion into Ghost on Porygon Z, which I can't really predict, so I'm not going to try to. I mean, I assume it would be Breakneck Blitz. That's just one of the relatively most valid sets. It's just, you know, super viable in any situation. It actually goes for Nasty Plot. Okay. Well, that's fine, unless it has Dark Pulse. You see the Ice Beam come out. That's going to go into the Marowak slot. Obviously not going to do too much. If it freezes me, that's not too big of a deal because Flare Blitz will thaw me out. The Glaceon could go for Shadow Ball here, which would be not good. Although it doesn't really have much for the Wishy-Washy I have in the back. And the Porygon Z threatens me because it's at +2. And it might have Dark Pulse, although I can't tell for sure. So I'm going to Flare Blitz the Porygon Z. And yeah, hard switch into Wishy-Washy. This way, if the Glaceon decides to go for like an Ice Beam onto the Bombi slot. Oh, nice. Okay, so Glaceon switches out. That's really good. Into Mesprit. Okay, I could just Shadow Bone that next turn. Let's see if the Porygon Z protects. Maybe it Trick Rooms and has a Focus Sash. That would be interesting. But I mean, Wishy-Washy does outslow both of my opponent's Pokemon, so if he does Trick Room, that's just good for me, I guess. So yep, we're gonna get this Flare Blitz off. This will knock it out unless it's like super bulky or has a Focus Sash, which it does have a Focus Sash. Interestingly enough, does it Trick Room? Is the question. Nope, just goes for Shadow Ball. Okay, that is fine because this next turn I can actually, you know what I could do? That would be pretty interesting. Is Speed Swap. Do I really want to do that though? I think I just want to go into my Rabombi and Revenge Kill this Porygon Z. Moonblast is probably the best play here. And I will just Scald the Mesprit. I guess worst case scenario, the Mesprit like has a Z move and goes for it on my Wishy-Washy. Although I'm pretty sure I live a Shattered Psych. Probably not a Gigavolt Havoc or a Bloom Doom from it though. Mesprit has a really good move pool. So we see the Porygon Z withdraw into the Glaceon. That's fine. Glaceon I'm pretty sure doesn't get Freeze Dry, so I'm not too threatened by that thing. Does do a good amount of damage. And we see the Healing Wish. Okay. Well, that's fine, because if the Mesprit wants to sack itself right here, the Porygon Z does not get its Sash back. And this Scald is going to redirect into the Glaceon. That's probably... Nope, not going to knock it out. No burn. That is fine, though. Now I think I actually am going to Speed Swap on my Wishy-Washy. Yep, we're going to see the Porygon Z come in, get that Healing Wish, but again, no more Focus Sash. Although it doesn't really matter, I cannot knock it out in one hit with either of these Pokemon. At least I don't think I can. But I can Speed Swap to my Wishy-Washy and then Muddy Water. Right? And that is, yeah, that's fine. Unless I miss. If I miss, that's a tragedy, but there's nothing I can really do about that. The Porygon Z can't be Z moves since it revealed the Focus Sash, so I don't have to worry about that knocking me out. Unless he like crits me, which would be unfortunate, but again, nothing I can really do about that. Give me your speed. Ooh. Did he actually Trick Room with his Porygon Z? He gets his accuracy dropped. Yes, he did. So that's fine, because now my Rabombi is slower than his Porygon Z. I can just knock that thing out. I think I actually want to switch out now. This way, if I knock out... No, this is fine. Because unless he protects his Porygon Z, I switch in and intimidate the Muck, right? And then I knock out a Pokemon. He cannot switch into Glaceon because Glaceon will get knocked out as well. It's at very low health. So therefore, Muck will have to stay at -1. It will not be able to switch out to undo the Intimidate. Yep. So, never saw Rabombi sweep in Trick Room before, have you? Well, that's a first. Wait, my Moonblast did not kill. Also, he's Darkinium on Muck, so that's interesting, I guess. Honestly, this isn't going to do too much to either of my Pokemon. Wait. Oh, he's Z Memento? Alright, that is fine. He decides to sack his Pokemon to heal back up his Glaceon. That's fine. And we see the Porygon 2 go for Uproar. I'm going to target the Rabombi. Obviously, I do have the Focus Eye, so I'm just going to hang out there. And now he's locked into Uproar, so I can just knock him out next turn. Surprised that the Moonblast didn't kill. I guess Rabombi isn't known for its damage output, though. So, yep. Going to inherit this basically Healing Wish. But again, I am slower, so unless he's like Ice Shard on Glaceon, I can just knock out the Porygon Z this turn. And I'll just go for the knockoff on Glaceon, in case he wants to target Rabombi with his Glaceon. I can, you know, get off some chip damage and knock off its item. See the Ice Beam come out, and it does go into the Krokorok. Okay, that's fine. Probably going to knock me out. Glaceon does have pretty good special attack, so I couldn't see this not knocking me out, especially because, you know, Krokorok doesn't have the best defenses. But that is fine, because Wishy-Washy is my win con here. Both of my Pokemon are super slow, and Trick Room is still up, although this might be the last turn. Nope, 2 more turns to Trick Room, which is great. So I'm just going to Moonblast the Glaceon and Scald the Glaceon. No reason to try to miss. Go for Muddy Water, risk missing just to get accuracy drops and a bit more damage. And as you can see, Scald plus Moonblast plus another Scald will indeed knock out this Glaceon. I'm going to see the Shadow Ball into the Wishy-Washy, it looks like. Yep, not going to do too much damage. No Spadef drop, so yep, that's pretty much going to be game. Just going to, you know, launch off another Moonblast, another Scald. Match was forfeited. Alright, so our first actual battle, our first battle that we actually played, we cop a W. Nice. Nice. Already copping W's in the Tiny Tourney. Fantastic. Okay. And yep, let's just keep on battling. Hopefully we can get 2 more battles in today. Still above the 1500s after that, you know, little mishap we had in our first attempt to play in this tournament. But we're coming back, and we're going to climb, and maybe, just maybe, we'll do really well in this tournament. But that's not important, you know, and the important thing is we have a lot of fun, right? That's what this is supposed to be. There's no CP on the line. This is just for fun. And honestly, it's a lot of fun. I love Tiny Tourney. I wish they would, you know, just keep this around forever. In fact, let's just replace VGC with Tiny Tourney. I mean, this is obviously a more competitive format. We have our second opponent of the day, technically. Another person from Japan, so it looks like, you know, everyone from America is asleep right now. And other people from Japan are playing right now. Because when I'm recording this, it's like 11 o'clock at night where I am. We see a pretty heavy Trick Room team here. Heavy enough that I expect that Whimsicott to be Trick Room as well. I might just want to bring my Trick Room mode. My Trick Room mode really does a number against his. I want to lead Krokorok, expecting him to lead Muck, so I can knock off the Muck's Figi Berry. And Porygon 2, because Porygon 2 does a number to his team, except for Marowak, of course, but Krokorok threatens Marowak not only with the Intimidate, but the knockoff as well, knocking off the Thick Club, but plus Intimidate means Marowak's damage output will be relatively nothing. And then, of course, my 2 slow Pokemon at the back, so we have that Trick Room mode of our own. Because Trick Room is a good strategy. I can't wait till this, I mean, obviously I can wait till this tournament is over. I was going to say I can't wait till this tournament is over so I can see what the most used Pokemon are, because I'm curious. What kind of Pokemon do people like to use in this format? But, of course, I don't want this tournament to end because it's so fun. I want to keep playing. Anyway, we see the Torkoal Mimikyu lead, so that is fine. Probably going to protect Torkoal. So what I'm going to do is hope to goodness that that Mimikyu is not a Z move, and I'm going to knock it off. Yeah, if the Torkoal stays open, it just takes it would take a Tri-Attack if I targeted it, but I'm not going to target it. Actually, I could go for Rock Slide or Earthquake, but I don't really want to hit my own Porygon too. I just can't. I can't see my opponent. Actually, what I could do is... Ooh, that might be kind of heat. What if I tried to reverse his Trick Room? Ooh. That sounds pretty interesting, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to make the relatively safe play and just double target the Mimikyu. Get good damage off on this thing. Yep, the Torkoal does go for Protect. Makes sense. I mean, while reversing the Trick Room wouldn't be bad, because obviously both of my Pokemon... Well, actually my Porygon 2 is slower than his Mimikyu because it is mid-speed Porygon 2. Alright, that did a good chunk. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, because then I'd get to outspeed the Torkoal next turn. I'm going to hard switch my Krokorok into Marowak, because I can't see him Shadow Clawing that slot. I'll eat up a Eruption pretty well. And since the Torkoal just protected last turn, I can launch off a Tri-Attack into that slot. I guess his own Marowak could come in. I don't expect it to, though. I expect him, honestly, to just, like, Eruption and play rough with Mimikyu. Nope, withdraws Mimikyu. Okay, that's fine too. Into Ferrothorn. That's actually really great because Ferrothorn does not threaten enough damage onto my Marowak, unless it's knockoff, because transferred Pokemon are legal in this format. That's why I have knockoff on my Krokorok. So we actually see the Heat Wave, which is fine. Maybe not carrying the Eruption. That was good damage. He could protect Ferrothorn. Could switch it out. I honestly want to Boomerang the Torkoal. And Trick Room again. Maybe. I mean Trick Room to upset the Trick Room. That's what I'll do, yeah. Because I can always just send in my Krokorok if he wants to. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Earthquake? This guy might know what's up. Earthquake Torkoal. Wait, he's abusing that attack stat that's higher than Talonflame's. All right, but Boomerang is going to knock this Torkoal out. Nice. Threat eliminated. We're going to get rid of this Trick Room. I expect to see the Mimikyu come back in here. Probably going to try to reset up Trick Room. Maybe the Whimsicott. No, there's no way. It has to be Muck coming in here, actually. Now that you think about it, maybe I should have kept Trick Room up, because since the Muck is most likely coming in here... Nope, Mimikyu comes back in. Okay. I was going to say, if Muck comes back in here, I'm actually min-speed on this Marowak, so I underspeed Muck guaranteed in Trick Room. But again, just going to switch hard into Krokorok, and probably going to Ice Beam the Mimikyu again. Not like the Mimikyu is the bigger threat, but I could easily just Flare Blast the Ferrothorn, and I don't even think an Okaberry can save it from that one. Not from a thick club Alolan Marowak. Plus, the Mimikyu is threatening my Marowak, which is my way of beating that Ferrothorn. My main way. Of course, Sun Boosted Fire Fang might do the trick. But we're about to find out, you know? I think I'll... Unless he, of course, sets up Trick Room again here. But I honestly just expect him to Shadow Claw the, that slot. As you can see, after Intimidate, that just does no damage. Going to do a Chunk. And we see the Elite Seed. Okay, that's fine. Want to see if Sun Boosted Fire Fang one-hit KOs Ferrothorn? We're about to find out. He might Protect, though. Although I don't think that matters too much because I'll just Fire Fang next turn, and Ice Beam is going to knock out the Mimikyu. So he won't be able to Trick Room. Although I guess he could Protect his Ferrothorn and then Will-O-Wisp my Krokorok. If he has it. Which, since he doesn't have Munchlax, I doubt he would have Psych Up, so Will-O-Wisp is definitely an option. He could also have Shadow Sneak, he could have Swords Dance, he could have even, what was I going to say? Okay, he withdraws Ferrothorn into the Marowak. Ooh, good play, good play. This is not going to do very much damage. And his Z move, Mimikyu. Twinkle Tackle, okay. So that's going to knock out my, that's going to knock out my... What is it going to knock out? I assume this is going into... Actually, it might go into... No, okay. It goes into Krokorok. He probably didn't need to use that to knock it out, but of course, Player Rough can miss. So he probably just didn't want to risk missing right there. But yeah, I'm just going to launch off this Ice Beam and knock out the Mimikyu. This should be the last turn of Sun, if I recall correctly. Yup. So, yeah, going to take a bit of recoil right there. The Leech Seed. If it's Min Speed Marowak, then my Porygon 2 is faster, and in that case I can recover. So I expect him to Protect Marowak and Power Whip my Wishy-Washy, honestly. So I'm going to Protect my Wishy-Washy and recover, right? Or do I want to switch out to my own Marowak? No, because then Ferrothorn could win. Although I don't think Ferrothorn can beat Porygon 2 1v1 if it's not seeded. So I am going to recover here. Yep, Protect and recover. If the Marowak wants to Flare Blitz my Porygon 2, that's fine. It'll take a lot of recoil. And I will live since I will be at a higher health. However, if he does outspeed me, because I am min speed. Okay, so he's running lower speed than me. I assume that means he's also min speed. I mean, his team is hard Trick Room, so I kind of assumed he was min speed. Goes for the Bone Meringue onto my Porygon 2, so that's not obviously not going to do too much damage. Goes for the Leech Seed onto that. Okay, he might not have Power Whip then. I can't see that. He has to have Power Whip. It doesn't make sense if he doesn't. Alright, now we are going to Scald. I mean, even if he does have Power Whip, I probably live. I'm just going to recover again. Yep. And the Marowak doesn't Protect, so unless he, like, somehow kills my Wishy-Washy with one shot, goes for the Stone Edge onto Porygon 2. Not going to do too much again. And the Scald should just knock out the Marowak. Yep. So now my Marowak can come in and pretty much just knock out that Ferrothorn. Goes for the Leech Seed. Yep. Yeah, I don't even need to risk switching. I know this Ferrothorn is slower than my Wishy-Washy, which means I know it's slower than my Marowak because my Wishy-Washy is slower than my Marowak. So I just stay in and launch off attacks. Like, I can go for Scald Burns. Ice Beam freezes. It doesn't matter. We're going to go for Ice Beam, though, because that's just going to hit the hardest. I'm going to do as much damage as possible. Okay. My opponent forfeits. Did my opponent see that I had Marowak that game? Because if I didn't have Marowak, the game was definitely not over. He could have stalled me out if my last Pokemon was like Rabombi. Although if my, yeah, I guess my last Pokemon would have had to been Rabombi because if it was Kartana, then I had the Sacred Sword, and he couldn't Leech Seed me. So, yep, good game to my opponent, and we're just going to move on to the final battle of this live. Because, you know, we want to get 3 battles in for each of these episodes, make them nice and interesting. So our final opponent is actually going to be from Mexico, running Slurpuff, Spiritomb, Mach, Excelgor, Porygon 2, and not Porygon 2, Porygon Z, and no item Howlucha, so that's Acrobatics Howlucha. Now the reason why Excelgor is scary is because it outspeeds my Scarf Crocorock. So I can't use that to like revenge kill it or anything. Trick Room is actually pretty good here. He doesn't really have a way to OHKO my Porygon 2. So I think I want to lead Rabombi because Rabombi can knock out that Howlucha in one shot. And then Porygon 2 with my Trick Room mode in the back. Unless I want to bring Kartana. No, not really. I like this. I like this set of 4 Pokemon that we are bringing. Alright, we see the Mach and the Spiritomb lead. Okay, that's fine, because that's pretty much, I guess you could have Taunt, but I'm not going to try to predict Taunt. I could actually, no, he's going to knock out that Sled. Download, probably going to get an attack boost, yep. Spiritomb reveals that it has pressure. Yeah, I'm just going to Moonblast the Spiritomb and try attack the Mach. Not going to set up Trick Room, even though it would make my Porygon 2 slower, faster than both of his Pokemon under Trick Room. Basically what I'm going to do is use Rabombi to keep Porygon 2 healthy while I chip these things down. Moonblast does a lot, obviously it's super effective. Goes for the Gunk Shot, so he just wants to get as much damage as possible onto Rabombi, but of course I am Focus Sash, so that's not going to kill in one hit, and it cannot poison thanks to Shield Dust, which is actually a really good ability that just nothing gets. We launch off the Tri-Attack. Status? No status. Okay. We see the burn, go into the Porygon 2, which is actually good because if you wanted to like go for the poison with like if you wanted to go for like the poison with what was I gonna say? With like Poison Jab or Gunk Shot on his Mach, then he can't now. And I have the burn, so I'll be taking less chip basically. So I'm gonna Ice Beam the Spiritomb and protect my Rabombi. This is basically scouting for Shadow Sneak on either of his Pokemon, or maybe even Sucker Punch on his Spiritomb. So he does have the Shadow Sneak on the Spiritomb. Mach goes for the Crunch onto the Porygon 2. Not going to do too much damage. Wait, is that a Shell Bell? Oh my Atlanta! I've been outheated. This guy has Shell Bell Mach. Ooh. Dang. This guy actually has Shell Bell Mach. Unbelievable. Who needs Figgy Berry when you can just get all your health back with the Shell Bell? This guy knows how to play Pokemon. Dang. Okay. We're not gonna let that get to us though. We're gonna keep winning. We see the Porygon Z. I'm honestly just going to double target that thing with a Moonblast. No, actually I'm going to Moonblast the Porygon Z and I'm going to Trick Room. Yes. Because that way I'll be slow. And hopefully he knocks out my Rabombi here. That is the best case scenario. Because this way, if he's Z conversion, that's what I was going to say. Goes for the Dark Pulse onto my Porygon 2, that's fine as long as he doesn't flinch me. Goes for the Gunk Shot onto Rabombi, knocks it out. Again, best case scenario, I wanted this thing to die. Shell Bell going to heal exactly 1 health. And we do flinch, unfortunately. But that's not too big of a deal because we can send in our Wishy-Washy now. And we're going to knock out that Porygon Z because that thing is a threat. Muddy Water might be able to knock out Porygon Z from this range and also get some damage on the Muck, but the thing about that is it might miss. Scald the Porygon Z, and yeah, I do want to set up Trick Room. I guess we don't need Porygon 2 to beat any of the last Pokemon in the back, so if I like Suicide Trick Room here, that is fine. If he Breakneck Blitzes my Porygon 2 here, that could be pretty bad though. Discharge. Okay, that's fine. As long as he doesn't like paralyze his Muck. He crits his Muck and he paralyzes his Muck. No! That's actually bad because now he's slower than my Marowak under Trick Room. Darn. Okay, we're not going to let that get to us though. He reveals the Minimize. That kind of sucks. But, I mean, it should be fine as long as we land 1 Flare Blitz on it. Dang. That, man, he actually paralyzed his Muck. Can you believe it? But, I mean, Paralysis can also work in my favor because it can, you know, Para-Hacks him, of course. We see the Excelgor come in. I mean, this isn't really threatening to my, I'm going to recover here, and then I'm going to reverse Trick Room. And we are going to Scald the Excelgor, because I want to knock that thing out. Hopefully it's not Focus Sash, but then again, this might not even knock it out. Oh, nice. Nice burn. Okay, getting our own hacks. We also see that our Wishy-Washy is slower than the Muck in Trick Room. You see the Giga Drain. Ooh. Okay. So it's not going to die this turn to burn. That is fine, though, because, yes, that's fine. Now, I know it's kind of silly, but I am going... Nah, never mind. I was going to say I'm just going to go for the Muddy Water. Doesn't matter if I miss the Excelgor, but it does matter if I miss the Excelgor. I think the Muck is just no speed, so that'll put it at 70 speed, which means it's at 35, which means I still do want to reverse Trick Room here, so my Marowak can outspeed the Muck. Yep, and we knock out Excelgor, so that thing can't threaten any of my Pokemon anymore. And Muck just goes for another Minimize. That's fine. It's going to be hard to hit, but as long as we land just a couple hits, we'll be fine. Of course, he does have that Shell Bell, which is going to slowly heal him up. You know, we have damage output, and he not so much. Tri-Attack. We actually land the Tri-Attack even though he's at max evasiveness. Goes for another Minimize even though he's at max. Scald. We don't miss around here, boys. We don't miss around here. I don't care if you're at max evasiveness. We don't miss. Alright, so that kind of sucks for my opponent. His only win chance, of course, being dodging all my attacks, and he doesn't even dodge one. So we're going to cop a W for our third battle, putting us at technically 3 wins and 1 losses, because again, my internet is just so awful. But that's okay, because, you know, the game decided I needed to play from the back and work my way forward, and I guess we kind of sort of have, to an extent. Anyway, definitely had a lot of fun in this live. Oh my goodness, Tiny Tourney is so fun. If you signed up for it, I hope you're having just as much fun as I am. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, you know, it just really does mean a lot to me. So I want to give you all a shout out if you made it this far. But other than that, I have nothing left to say. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!